Pretty sure they told me left. Where do you want it? We're playing for a while.
Yeah, we're gonna stop.
Okay. I'm not sure we can play for a lot longer. Their lips and all that are getting sore.
Oh, they usually do until the seniors
That's
come
what
in.
I thought.
You take a break. They usually did last year. They
Sure.
took a break. They were just doing drums. Take a break for a couple minutes.
Perfect. Yep. Turn around. So normally we play until they're all the way in, all the seniors. So why don't we?
No, we don't. We stop and start and stop and start.
Okay. So.
We'll do Kelly.
Okay. So. Thank you. So can we keep a beat in between sets?
Yeah.
Okay. They want something going the whole time. Okay.
Play the street beat.
Kelly. At the hole. 1, 2. You're part of the band. Come and join us.
Oh, no, I'm waiting for her to give you the signal.
Sure, but stand
Right.
close with us.
I will.
Band, Jimmy. Jimmy, at the hole. Hills. Green Hills. They're still filing in, but I gotta imagine it's almost over.
Yeah.
I can't quite see anymore, but we've got at least one more tune in us. Meeting of the waters. Meeting of the waters. Meeting of the waters. Yeah, looks like it. They're still coming in. One more time.
Do Scotland, but we might cut it off in the middle.
Okay. Scotland. 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 Stop. All set? Okay. Tip out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go around.
Yep.
Are you leading? Yeah, we'll just go like we did. We'll just go.
So why don't you back up and let them through? Can you, give us a little room here? All right, ready? Band, we're doing this now, right? At the tip, 1, 2.
I now call to order the 141st commencement of Smith College. Will all those in attendance please be seated?
Good morning. Welcome, staff and faculty, honored guests, honorary degree recipients, and the beloved class of 2019. Welcome to parents, grandparents, friends, siblings, and chosen family who have traveled to get here across miles and time zones. Welcome to the proud, the bewildered, the exhausted, and the relieved. Welcome to all families. Welcome to everyone. Friends, let us bring to mind the land beneath our feet, and let us recall with gratitude those who originally cultivated it and for whom it was sacred, and let us treat it as such. Let us bring to mind and be ever vigilant on behalf of those who are excluded from safety, kept out, or locked up. Let us bring to mind all those who have not yet had the opportunity to experience a day like today and the honor that it confers. Let us bring to mind those who are not here in body, but whose mark upon us is indelible. Let us also look around us to see what might be below the surface at this great institution, for we are biracial, multiracial, we are first gen, we are trans and queer and disabled, we are scared and we are hopeful. We are all people of purpose with lives that will be of great distinction. Seniors, this morning, you may be half asleep from the whirlwind of the past few days, not to mention last night. But I offer you an invitation to celebrate that you are awake in a different way. For no matter who you are, no matter how this journey has been for you, you have been given what you need to be alert in this beautiful yet troubled world, not to let the sheer weight of its calamities, threats, and dangers lull you into smallness or spiritual sleep. In the words of James Baldwin, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. So this morning, I invite you to listen to your elders, prophets, and classmates, and for a moment, don't worry about the future. Don't even worry about taking it all in. Just be awake to words of hope, for you will be the hopers. Be awake to stories of struggle, for you have been the strugglers. And be reminded it is not actually perfection or good grades or even the right amount of extracurriculars that are the measure of success. Be awake to one another, for in the end, it is curiosity about human particularity, variety, vulnerability, all that is beneath the surface that will prepare you to dig deep, to traverse boundaries, cross borders, and break down walls in a world that is wide but waiting for you. So good morning. Let us begin.
Would Aminata Khan, President of the senior class, please come forward to speak on behalf of the graduates?
Good morning. I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you, students, families, friends, and distinguished guests. I am delighted to see you here and grateful that you have gathered from far and near to celebrate our accomplishments. I am Aminata Khan, a graduating chemistry major and Spanish minor. If you know me well, you're probably wondering why I'm not crying yet. Chances are I've cried before I got up here, and I will cry the moment that I get off. But in the great words of Winnie the Pooh, how lucky I must be to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. As I reflect on the last 4 years, I feel truly blessed to have been at Smith. I engage in the learning of various topics that span multiple disciplines, worked alongside professors that challenged me day in and day out, and best of all, had the opportunity to have gained countless memories, laughing, crying, celebrating, stressing, and everything in between with you, the class of 2019. Since my first introductory class in chemistry, I've come to appreciate just how much my ideas and assumptions have been challenged. I've learned not to think in binaries, to engage in thoughtful and respectful dialogue with those who have perspectives that differ from my own, and to push deeper than I ever thought was possible. At Smithies, we devote ourselves and work tirelessly to accomplish things that make a positive impact in our communities. And these triumphs will certainly continue beyond the Great Court gates. Members of our class have been accepted into incredible graduate schools that include Columbia, Yale, Oxford, Princeton, and Johns Hopkins. We are entrepreneurs, launching and expanding our innovative business ideas. 14 of us are Fulbright scholars who will be conducting research and teaching English in countries like Barbados, South Korea, Spain, Colombia, and many more. Some of us will be analysts at Facebook, consultants at McKinsey, researchers at institutions like Harvard, the Broad, and Pfizer. We will be makers, creatives, writers, and social justice leaders of tomorrow. Some of us are still exploring our options, but for all of us, an exciting future awaits. As we reflect on our accomplishments, traditions we have continued, and transformations we have experienced, we must also recognize the growth that we have brought to Smith. Change has been constant during our time here. As Maya Angelou once said, if you don't like something, change it. And to my fellow graduating class of 2019, you did. We all exemplify what it means to be agents of change in both creating it and accepting it. We have seen our peers organize platforms to address the needs of marginalized students through programs like Weaving Voices and First Gen Visibility Week. Student leaders in SSSJIC led protests to demand inclusion and support from administration, and have seen the college respond to one of the demands by addressing the costs of learning disability testing for low-income students. A student-led group, Smith Cycle, has been tackling the concern of waste by creating a program to donate and upcycle a wide variety of items to reduce waste on campus. Student leaders in the Residential Experience Working Group advocated for and secured affinity housing to cultivate and foster a sense of belonging for students of color. In striving to better Smith as an institution, I realized that there is absolutely no place that I would rather be. As we part ways after today and continue our journeys as movers and shakers in this challenging world, we will always be connected by these collective experiences on this very campus. The experiences that allow you to bump into a classmate and reminisce about the time that you may or may not have snuck into Ford Hall to make a midnight snack of ice cream using liquid nitrogen. Whenever people are asked about their favorite part of Smith, they always say the people and the community. This holds true for me. From studying for exams in the hallways of Wilder in my first year, to relentlessly devouring apple cider donuts on Mountain Day with my BSA sisters, I made friendships that I will continue to cherish for the rest of my life. I can't begin to express how happy I am to be standing here wearing my BSA stole with such pride. These are just a few of the many experiences that make the Smith bond invaluable. As Smithies, we share the commitment to affirm each other through compassion and the ability to transform this world. Our class has learned to accept change as well as provoke it. And just as we did when we started Smith, we must once again leap into a new, unfamiliar part of our life. It will be scary facing these transitions, but we will learn to embrace them because in the promising words of Harriet Tubman, always remember you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars and change the world. As soon-to-be graduates, recognize that you embody everything you need to embark on these journeys. Welcome the changes in the world and within ourselves, for our futures are open, expansive, and unwritten. With that, I urge you to go into this world fierce and unafraid. Continue to be bold and brilliant. Challenge yourself to expand your comfort zone regularly. Be prepared to experiment, take risks. Keep learning, make your life your own. Be happy, and always, always, always be proud of yourself. And I know this may be difficult for some of us, but please get a sufficient amount of sleep. Before I close, I want to take a moment to give a huge shout out to my family that's here all the way from Gambia. I'm immensely grateful that my mom is here to see all that I have accomplished as a result of my hard work and her prayers. To the class of 2019, may our journeys be brimming with passion, empowered by strength and vulnerability, and filled with all that is love and light. May we continue to ask questions, seek answers, thrive, and be the force of change that this world needs. Congratulations, class of 2019.
It's now my pleasure to present the 2019 Honored Professor Award. This year's honored professor joined the Smith faculty in 1981. Her scholarship stands at the intersection of history, museum theory, art, and perception. Her teaching reaches into the worlds both modern and ancient, and our perceptions of each as shaped by their visual record. From the physical artifacts of fallen empires to pixels racing across a virtual reality display, she weaves together modes of teaching and learning that challenge our understanding of how propaganda, landscape, and revolution shaped the artifacts of ancient Greece and Rome. She has lectured extensively and brought us into spaces long since vacated by those who built them. Whether turning her eye to the graffiti of Pompeii or the subtext of gender in the monuments of Augustan Rome, this year's honored professor ensures that our understanding of the past is not written in stone. One of the most widely respected and trusted members of the faculty, she has served on nearly every major leadership committee of the college, including Faculty Council, which she chaired. Please join me in congratulating Barbara Kellum, Professor of Art, as the recipient of the 2019 Honored Professor Award. We now turn to the awarding of honorary degrees. By virtue of the authority of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, vested in the Board of Trustees of Smith College, and by them delegated to me, I now confer these honorary degrees and admit their recipients to all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto.
Madam President, I have the honor to present Elizabeth Alexander, the degree Doctor of Fine Arts, honoris causa.
Okay.
Elizabeth Alexander, poet and cultural activist. You once wrote, "A poem is a living thing made by living creatures, and as life, it is all that can stand up to violence." Your art has straddled these worlds, darkness and the light that stands against it or even springs from it. You take us in scholarship and poetry from the decks of slave ships to the soaring expanse of what you call the Black interior, Black life and creativity behind the public face of stereotype and limited imagination, rampant and unfetishized Black beauty. As the first director of the Smith College Poetry Center, as chair of Yale University's African American Studies Department, as chancellor of the Academy of American Poets, and as president of the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation, you have expanded our world and given us hope. To quote the poem you read at President Barack Obama's first inauguration, in today's sharp sparkle, this winter air, anything can be made, any sentence can be begun. On the brink, on the brim, on the cusp. For your scholarship, leadership, art, and advocacy, Smith College is proud to award you the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, honoris causa.
Madam President, I have the honor to present Drew Gilpin Faust, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Drew Gilpin Faust, higher education leader. For more than 370 years, only men had held the highest office at Harvard University. Then, in 2007, you took the helm as the 28th and first woman president. Your appointment ushered in a new era for the nation's oldest university. In your characteristically modest style, you downplayed the distinction. "I'm not the woman president of Harvard," you said, "I'm the president of Harvard." Under your steady and confident leadership, critical initiatives focusing on access and financial aid made the university a more inclusive community. Reflecting on your tenure, one student said, "Harvard now feels like an institution that is meant for everyone who is here attending it." Your influence extends far beyond the world of higher education. Your extensive scholarship illuminates the life and times, cultures and conflicts of the Civil War and the American South. Through 6 books, you elevate the voices of soldiers and statesmen, slaves and freedom fighters, families and women whose experiences make up the fabric of our nation. For your belief in the power of the liberal arts and your contributions to our understanding of this nation's history, Smith College is proud to award you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Madam President, I have the honor to present Yvonne Frachero, the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Yvonne Frachero, advocate for the homeless. As a young girl growing up in England during the Blitz, you saw an entire city flattened by bombs, leaving thousands of people without a place to live. That memory became a guidepost. Homelessness, you have said, became, for me, a memory of people who needed help, who had nowhere to go and relied on the rest of us. After a career in languages that took you across Europe and the Middle East, you landed here in Northampton and here at Smith, where you served as the college registrar. Yes. Responding to the growth of homelessness in our own backyard, you raised what has become an army of volunteers and inspired them to work on behalf of the city's homeless population. On any given winter night, dozens of homeless men and women can find sanctuary in Northampton's interfaith cot shelter, which owes its creation in part to your advocacy. In addition, the organization you helped build, Friends of Hampshire County Homeless Individuals, purchased 2 houses where those who have long struggled with homelessness can live independently. One of those residences, Yvonne's house, honors your lifetime of service and caring. For your tireless work and generosity of spirit, Smith College is proud to award you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Madam President, I have the honor to present Nicola Sauvage Tsanga's class of 1968, the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Nicola Sauvage Tsangas, class of 1968, Smith College, former congressperson. For more than a decade, you served as one of the most recognized members of the U.S. House of Representatives, not only as a senior member of the House Armed Services Committee, but also at the time of your election in 2007 as the first woman in 25 years to represent Massachusetts in Congress. Throughout, your work was motivated by a lifelong commitment to public service and deep ties to the communities you represented. You used your tenure in Congress to champion the fight against sexual assault in the military and to advocate for veterans. As the top Democrat on the House Armed Services Tactical Air and Land Forces Subcommittee, you were engaged in work directing a significant portion of the defense budget. In 2018, when you announced your decision to not seek re-election and to retire from public life, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi praised your years of service, citing your insistence that women can't win if women don't run, and commending the courage and inspiration you have given countless women to fight for a seat at the table. For your distinguished leadership in public service, Smith College is honored to award you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Madam President, I have the honor to present Ai-jen Poo for the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Ai-jen Poo, labor organizer. Home is not always the haven it should be. Too often and too invisibly, a home is sustained through the labor of those who cannot claim it as sanctuary. By serving as a voice for millions who hold up the foundation of households throughout the world, You have empowered a worker-led movement at the intersection of every stream of domestic service. Those you protect often care for the most vulnerable in our society: children, the elderly, and the homebound. These caregivers do the work you have said that makes all other work possible. Through your advocacy, supported in part by a fellowship from the MacArthur Foundation, labor protections have been expanded at the state and federal levels to uncover domestic workers' rights to fair pay, safety, and a work environment free from harassment and violence. For your leadership of the National Domestic Workers Alliance and caring across generations, for energizing a movement to organize, defend, and empower those who will, by 2030, constitute the largest occupation in the United States workforce, Smith College is proud to award you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. It is now my great pleasure and honor to present to you the 2019 commencement speaker, Jen Poo.
Woo, good morning. Congratulations, graduates. I cannot tell you how honored I am to be your commencement speaker. I want to shout out all the graduates who have worked so hard to get to this moment. And to all the families for all the sacrifices you've made so that today's graduates can have this moment. I know many domestic workers work their whole lives so that their children can have a moment like this one. I also want to give thanks to my family who is here, including my 8-year-old stepdaughter, Addie. You all are role models for her, so thank you. Just the fact that you made it to this day is a milestone worthy of ritual and ceremony. And I would be honored to be your commencement speaker no matter what. But your graduation is actually really different. What's happening here today is extraordinary and very special. And I really want you to take this in because you are graduating today from one of the premier institutions in the world entirely focused on the potential of women. All women, Black, brown, Native, gender nonconforming, and trans, all women, to lead and change the world. Let me say it again. You are graduating from one of the premier institutions in the world that is entirely focused on the potential of women, all women, to lead and change the world. And you are doing so in one of the most important moments for our leadership and activism in generations. Culturally, politically, economically, women are the single most powerful force for change in the nation right now. Women are not only on the front lines of protecting our democracy, women are fighting to change every aspect of life in America for the better, for the long haul. You are graduating into a world where you are center stage. But it's a weird kind of center stage because we're powerful and we're also not. Well, we're definitely not in charge. We're more than half of the electorate. In fact, women were 54% of the electorate in 2018. We're more than half of all college graduates, more than 70% of the consumer base. We are powering everything, doing everything, but we're still overrepresented in positions of vulnerability and abuse, and underrepresented in positions of power. Gender equality has been a question on my mind ever since I was a kid. I was raised largely by my two grandmothers and my mom. As a toddler, I followed my grandmother around her kitchen like a mini shadow. As a child in the summers, I would watch her move around the apartment with focus and clarity. Every minute was productive. By day, she worked as a nurse, and by night, she made delicious food with groceries she somehow bought before she went to work in the morning. She organized the whole family, worked, and always had a perfect perm. Growing up around women like her and my mom, I thought women walked on water. They could do anything. I saw them doing everything, and so I assumed they would also be in charge of everything. That would make sense. I figured they should be, and then the older I got, the more I realized how far from the truth that actually was, and I think that's how I became a feminist. Each generation of women has taken up this question of equality, and we've made real gains through our organizing and activism. We stand on the shoulders of giants: Ella Baker, Wilma Mankiller, Dorothy Bolden, Sylvia Rivera, Gloria Steinem, and so many more who have changed our culture and society. We've changed the laws, everything from the Violence Against Women Act to the Domestic Workers' Bills of Rights. We have changed the workforce. We are now more than half of the workforce, and we are in more positions of political leadership. In fact, we are now 24% of the United States Congress. Women have changed the conversation about everything from sexual violence and harassment to who belongs in the White House. We have changed things, for sure. There's no denying that. But we're still reacting to the dominant culture that we didn't create. We have changed policy, but we haven't made the rules by which policy is passed. We've taken up more space, more roles in every sector of society, but it still sits within the same hierarchy that fundamentally values the lives, work, and contributions of men over women. That hierarchy also relies upon rigid gender norms and a binary between men and women. We have changed cultural norms, but the dominant beliefs underneath haven't yet shifted. The hierarchical spine of it all is still intact. From the perspective of domestic workers, women entering the workforce outside the home never translated into valuing or recognizing the work women did inside the home. Women got jobs in lots of industries, but the work in the home they left behind didn't get elevated. In fact, its lack of value got reinforced. Women of color stayed doing the work. We never changed the way we value caregiving or care work as a profession, and that has hurt all of us. We won more opportunity in a context set by men, but we never changed the context itself. Now, here we are in 2019, and it's time. It's our time, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Children have been put in cages and separated from their families. Whole categories of Americans are being erased and banned. Women who seek abortions are being criminalized, and the doctors assisting them are facing 99 years in prison for providing basic women's health care. White nationalism is on the rise. Gun violence is an epidemic in our children's schools. Our right to vote and be counted is being stolen. The very institutions and moral fabric of our democracy are under threat. And we have been the first responders in this time of crisis. Women are marching, voting, organizing, donating, running for office, and winning at unprecedented rates. We are organizing and taking action. We are rising to the challenge. We have awakened to our responsibility for the future, and we are showing up because it is our time. And this time, together, we have the power to not only change the country, but to lead it and to change it all. That is what is before you now. You are stepping into the opportunity of generations to change the fundamentals of how things work in America. We can change the logic of power in our country to fundamentally disrupt the hierarchy of human value that defines our culture, our politics, and our economy, to not just change things, but run them differently. You're probably asking, how? Well, I'm an organizer, so I believe we have to organize. I know many of you already are in your communities and also right here on campus, from the housekeepers to all the excellent student groups on campus. I see you. I see you and the important demands you are making. I was you as a student organizer, and I need you to know that your organizing truly matters. And my question for all of us is, do you want to change things or run them? And as leaders and organizers, how are we leading differently? Because we don't want to run things for the sake of running them. We want to run things because we're going to do things differently. Well, what does that look like? It looks a lot of different ways. I know what it feels like. There's a famous Maya Angelou quote, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." I will never forget how I felt on January 21st, 2017. I stood on the stage in Washington, D.C. for the first Women's March, and all I could see was a sea of people and pink hats. As far as the eye could see, in every single direction, I saw women of every race, religion, age, gender identity, ability, women who had gotten off of buses, including a ton of domestic workers from Ohio and Louisiana and every place you can take a bus from. And they carried homemade, brilliant signs, hilarious signs, about every issue under the sun. Every issue, from healthcare to immigrant rights to climate change, and there was room for all of it. There was no issue that was more important than another. We praised each other's signage. We helped one another navigate the porta potties. We made space in line and shared snacks. And I would say the dominant feeling was joy. Yes, we were afraid and nervous and angry and the entire range of emotions, but the overwhelming feeling was both powerful and joyful. Joyful to be together, that we could create the space for each other, support and protect each other no matter what. Millions of us. Even though we don't see it in our dominant culture, we know in our gut that it is possible. Power does not have to be abusive, extractive, or divisive. For me to have power doesn't mean that you can't. And for me to be seen doesn't mean that you won't. It doesn't have to be a zero-sum game. In creating a place of honor for every issue and every experience, we create a different form of power that is rooted in the whole truth of who we are. In the words of my friend and mentor and Smithy, class of 1956, Gloria Steinem, imagine we are linked, not ranked. We are going to organize and we are going to lead like we're linked and not ranked. We want power and leadership not for the sake of having it, but to redefine leadership itself and to create something new. And I believe we have everything we need to do it. We are going to make every single campus and community and workplace safe because we're survivors. We are going to make every job a job that pays a family-sustaining wage because we, as women, have worked too hard for too little for too long. And you know what? We're going to take care of our caregivers because we are caregivers and we need care too. And we are going to support the leadership of trans women and gender nonconforming people because these gender norms have oppressed us all. And we are going to follow Black women, Native women, and immigrant women because we know a hopeful future for our democracy must be driven by the people it has hurt the longest. And we are going to listen because there is so much we don't know about one another's stories. Rural women, urban and suburban women, we each hold key pieces to the story of who we are and who we can become. We are going to be bold in our solutions because we will have to be in order to build a nation that holds us all up and keeps us together rather than pits us against each other. We have everything we need to set this transformation in motion. And there's one special ingredient in particular that we have that is essential. Right after the Women's March, the main question I got from reporters, this was the first Women's March 2 years ago, the main question I got from reporters is this just a moment? Will it last? Aren't you just angry right now and it'll pass? Won't you get burnt out? Well, here we are 2 years later. And just a couple of weeks ago, I was part of an amazing group of women organizers who launched a new home for women's activism called Supermajority. Within a week, more than 80,000 people signed up as members. More than 50,000 have filled out an in-depth form about their experiences and their interests so that we could get to know them better. And one question we asked them was, what is your superpower? The most popular answer was empathy. This is why I believe we will win. Empathy is our superpower. And there's one last disclosure I'm going to make, which is that I'm a crier. Tissues. My mom gave it to me. She's a crier too. You're probably too young to remember these movies, but Beaches, Terms of Endearment, Steel Magnolias. I literally remember those movies from my childhood distinctly because my mom and I both cried so hard we couldn't breathe and our eyes were swollen for days. To this day, I often cry at events, especially ceremonies like this one. It hadn't even started and I was already crying. Weddings, baby showers, funerals, anything where anyone is being celebrated, appreciated, where someone's unique contributions or humanity is seen, recognized. I sobbed through every episode of the last season of Queer Eye. But for years, I lived in fear of crying in public, especially in meetings, especially when I'm facilitating or leading a meeting. I felt like, especially as a woman of color, to be taken seriously as a leader, I had to project a steely kind of confidence, and crying would not fit. I believe that vulnerability is not something you wear on your sleeve when you want people to see you as a credible leader. I still struggle with it. I mean, I still cry because I can't help it, but I still feel a lot of shame around it, no matter how many times people tell me it's okay. In the last year alone, I cried through my TED Talk. I cried on stage at the Aspen Ideas Festival as I told the story of being in McAllen, Texas, seeing the children who had been torn from their parents at the border literally being carted off in buses, children younger than Addie. I cried at the National Domestic Workers Alliance Membership Assembly when I and many other survivors in the room told our stories of sexual assault. And each time, the most amazing thing happened. I became a magnet for other women who wanted to organize, women who wanted to both be powerful and human together. It helped us find each other. Each of us will have our things, our reminders of how the old paradigm has shaped us. And the thing to remember is that the thing we may have been trying to suppress in the old paradigm may be the exact superpower we need to lead for the future. Empathy is especially critical in this time in history. Being woke often means being mad a lot of the time. I think that's really important and healthy, actually. But it's also important to remember that this is a nation of humans, and we've all been through a lot as a country. My dear friend Heather McGee, the former president of an organization called Demos, has a really wise insight about this. She calls our country the most ambitious experiment in democracy in the entire world. Because if you think about it, we had the indigenous peoples, the First Nations of this land. And then the first migrants came from Europe to colonize. And then a group of people were brought here forcibly as part of the transatlantic slave trade. And then you had generation upon generation of migration from every country, culture, religion in the world. And then you tell us we are one. It's really a challenging idea, ambitious to say the least. The idea that we are both many and one is both the source of so much pain and conflict and precisely what makes us so unique and extraordinary as a nation. It is also the single greatest organizing challenge in the history of the world. And that is why we need you. As you commence into the rest of your life, because you are graduating from one of the premier institutions focused on the leadership and power of women in the world, and you are graduating onto center stage amidst one of the most difficult times in the most ambitious experiment in democracy in the world, and women are assembling into the most powerful force for positive change in this country. Yes, we are asking more of you. We are asking you to lead and to organize and to take responsibility now, not just for yourself, your community, or even just the people who share your values. We need you to take responsibility for the whole entire project of taking this vision of a democracy into the future and running it all, and doing it differently, doing it together with a whole lot of empathy. Ours is a new paradigm of power where we are linked and not ranked, and we are connected. In our logic of power, there is room for the whole of who we each are, in all of our imperfections and our brilliance. Black, white, brown, native, urban, rural, suburban, across the spectrum of gender identity, ability, age, and class, all of these experiences together are what will make our organizing and our leadership powerful. Our ability to model being powerful together, being linked, is what this country needs to see to know that it is possible. When I was in college, I discovered Audre Lorde. Her poem, A Litany for Survival, was profound to me. It felt like a love poem to all of us who felt we couldn't be our true selves and free in the existing paradigm. I believe she wrote it to help us know that we are not alone. Her stunning poem closes with a call to action. So it is better to speak, remembering we were never meant to survive. She reminds us that we are living in a paradigm that was set up to fail us, so we should speak our truths. And what is on the table right now for all of you, for us, is a chance to lead in the service of a new paradigm, to create a new future where we not only survive, but we thrive. And so, to the beloved Smith College class of 2019, I would offer a twist on Audre Lorde's words. It is better to lead, remembering you have the power to change everything. I believe in you. We believe in you. We are so proud of you. Congratulations, y'all.
It's the moment you've been waiting for. The candidates for the degree of Certificate of Study, Diploma in American Studies and Global Studies, Master of Science, Master of Arts in Teaching, and Master of Fine Arts will stand and present themselves at this time.
Madam President, I have the honor to present these candidates and to certify on behalf of the faculty that they have fulfilled the requirements set by the college for their respective diplomas and degrees.
By virtue of the authority of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, vested in the Board of Trustees of Smith College, and by them delegated to me, I confer upon you, as the case may be, the Certificate of Study, Diploma in American Studies and Global Studies, Master of Science, Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Fine Arts, and admit you to all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto.
Charlotte Couder. Francesco Maria Del Rey. Samia El Guzlani. Mathilde Geoffroy. Lucy Mazure. Sabrine Muele. Julienne Nial. Erica Nguala. Adrian Agujar Gomez. Aurora Pinto. Ludia Marie Wenzel. Marie Vrona. Adrian Elizabeth Meyer Baird. Danielle Britt. Sean Michael Cabanis. Jennifer DeMose. Adam Flight. Gariel Grant. Jordan Michelle Helms. Brooke Marshall. Erin Catherine Miller. Lizette Perez Perez. Paige Phillips. Karine Signon. Mackenzie Sherman. Jamie Snyder. Emma L. Tario. Benet Isla Weintraub. Nicole Louise Bordeaux Cormier. Kimberly Dew. Annalise Megan Gelberg. Julia Ginsburg. Miles Harlow. Brian J. Horrocks. Alfred Kimani. Elizabeth Kubacek. Shakayla Lawrence. Sarah Levine. Lindsay Marie Lord. Timothy O'Reilly. Emily L. Raphael. Emily Rudd. Stephanie Lynn Small. Sarah Ann Tully. Alana Jean Valdez. Michelle Renee Erard. Lucille June. Nikki Lee. Anna M. Maynard.
Are you ready? The candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science will stand and present themselves at this time.
Madam President, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science and to certify on behalf of the faculty that they have filled the requirements set by the college for that degree.
By virtue of the authority of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, vested in the Board of Trustees of Smith College, and by them delegated to me, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science and admit you to all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto.
Yeah, Kathy.
You may be seated. The candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts will stand and present themselves at this time.
Madam President, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts and to certify on behalf of the faculty that they have fulfilled the requirements set by the college for that degree.
By virtue of the authority of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, vested in the Board of Trustees of Smith College, and by them delegated to me, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts and admit you to all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto.
Albright House. Ashley Aviles. Caitlin Blanding. Miranda Theoni Katsambas. Marta Garcia. Jacqueline Granillo Galindo. Sally Kaleke Calais. Jerome Lee. Alpha Metard. Felicia Villalobos. Jessica Vivar. Baldwin House. Mathina Alexis Abramson. Aliyah Bailey. Billy Cullison. Aminata Diallo. Katerina Geppert. Kaya Hamer Bumstead. Julia Kim. Kathy Lee. Veronica Morales. Zoe Elizabeth Muntz. Suyu Lilikian. Cass Sweeney. Vivian Wang. Alessia Woods. Shuying Chen. Capenhouse. Isabella Aliana Aldana. Hannah Ray Elbaum. Joanna Kim. Lily Lee. Hannah Matthews. Loida Pan. Emma Renee Ballo. Piera Fortier Varela. Chapin House. Kyle Marcos Alfin. Rachel Connolly. Tara Coughlin. Josh Kofke. Jane Kuntz. Liu Shukan. Elizabeth Ann Manson. Kaylee Oliver. Elise Marie Rizzi. Shuaolu Shui. Madison Vincent. Mary Ellen Chasehouse. Ojaswi Ajira. Daisy Ostorga Gonzalez. Lourdes Delgado. Deandra Dillon. Luyao Gao. Alyssa Marie Gravlin. Demaya Johnson. Joanne Mukombea Kiandi. Rutendo Madziur. Ruth Tekliab Mekbib. Mary Mick. Hafsa Mahmoud Murray. Ayubi Mizono. Simran Nagrath. Anyan Noor. Andrea Oliveira. Elizabeth Powell. Emily Rogers. Claire Alexander Vinson. Madison Mackenzie Vogel. Yitao Yu. Windwon Yo. Comstock House. Jamie Chan. Sabrina Godoro. Lilith Dyke Grog. Stephanie Fukaris. Madeline Stewart Fraser. Tommy Gans. Sophia Viviana Getz. Jennifer Gutierrez. Catherine Ann Pollock Knowles. Janice Koo. Kaylin Kosika. Katerina Kichakova. Caroline Lee Lancaster. Sarah Lee. Ariel Rose Burgess Murray. Daisy Paez. Carla Peña. Eva Putnam. Gia Reidenhauer. Catherine Rosen. Noli Marganit Rosen. Caitlin Sheridan Seeger. Denise Diane Velasquez. Donna Antonella Vera Saldiver. Kim Zhang.
Ada Comstock Scholars. Deborah Ballum. Nicole Bearden. Marty Bongfeld. Samantha Rosamond Brown. Celeste Clerk. Ilaria Dana. Nora Holmes Daniels. Delina Duncan. Sharita Flournoy. Shannon Hadley. Carlina A. Henry. Sydney Hoversten. Catherine Rose LaRussa. Lisa Lane. Jane Lee. Cassidy Ann Lewis. Ingrid McGallis. Susan J. Mals. Julia Ann Moore. Linda Moynihan. Jessica A. Nelson. Elisa Paoloni. Tanya M. Ritchie. Tamara Samish Thomas. Carrie West. Kristen T. Williams. Lindsay A. Winters. Cushing House. Ayushi Arial. Evan Elizabeth Box. Beatrix May Dalton. Nicole Darby. Emily DeWitt. Cara Parsons Dietz. Noah Dubin. Haley Adela Escobar. Camille Jean Fosha. Tatiana Mehigali. Kelsey Reed Hammond. Asha Henson. Hannah Huang. Shanika Janelle Paul. Alyssa Michelle Pioggia. Adriana Isis Rivers. Danya Ruiz. Kiki Tashoma. Cutter House, Zoya Noman Alam, Tassom An, Sarah Denny Arnold, Melanie Bansio, Yija Sui, Allison Renee Daniels, Allison Rose Irina, Khulud Fahim, Hannah Rosemary Holmberg, Alana Erickson Kepler, Elizabeth Ann Lamar, Wei-Jen Lin, Andy Mato, T. Miller, Anna Denise Quintanilla, Jushen, Ariana Sol Tramonti Bonet, Audrey Trossin, Nyasha Simba, Rebecca Catherine White, Lan Shao, Eleanor Duckett House, Rebecca Catherine Rorlick, Sabina Vernon, Julia Shah, Haruka Yoshida, Emerson House, Sarah Albert, Aditi Arial, Morgan Barney, Bailey Laura Bogan, Iko Jakovsky, Sarah Jane Flaherty, Francesca Elizabeth Harrison, Catherine Emma Lindgren Hartup, Catherine Elizabeth Keenan, Claire Browen Kirby, Emma Nicole Price, Nina Alicia Shute, Shambri Swartz, Celia Anna Tasho, Daniel Eli Wood, Delphine Zhu,
44 Green Street, Riley Elizabeth Brennan, Jillian Ann O'Shaughnessy Cannon, Sophia Evelina Engelman, Lisa Mena, Gabby Racchio Giordano, Cromwell House, Emily Ryan Biggs, Serena Ann Schiraldi Katow, Beatrice Corrine Shadowin, Katie Elizabeth Christensen, Elizabeth Sinta Cole, Guinevere Grace Connolly, Madeline Violet Hubbard, Julie Ju Young Kim, Aviana Sunming Klein, Maddie Kolke, Anne Marcel McCauley, Cassandra Kasha Naron, Amelia Grace Stapleton, Reagan Day Stokes, Maya Tooley, Carla Yukub, Decora House, Victoria Lex. Yu Su Sherry Lynn. Shinni Eudora Nu. Fei Ping Ann Wong. Iran Echo Zhang. Hashimi House, Juliana Caroline Bowerly. Lysandra Camacho. Alejandra Diana Cervantes Ramirez. Lena Henrietta Gruber. Xin Guang. Kai, Amani, Olivia, Ruby, Cunningham Shirley. Shireen Chamlu. Logan James Swanson. Shirhan Young. Machado House. Yi Wang Fu. Andrea Quinn Anjan. Christine Johnson. Zuxian Li. Sing Yi Liu. Cindy Xingyi Lu. Rhiannon Zoe Nolan. Nino Mia House. Natalie Simone Borden. Isabel Brown. Lydia Patrick D'Angelo. Molly Eldevick. Caitlin Irene Farnan. Tyler Ramsden Feeney. Hannah Phyllis Grasso. Chloe Ann Harris. Gracie Boudreau Kinsey. Stella Lee. Cass Martin. Alexa Ray.
Gardner House. Marie Louise Calhoun. Gabby Drew. Elena Erskine. Anna Sophia Jotina. Gwendolyn Ruth Jones. Olwyn Wolinskaya Moxey. Savannah Hope Pease. Rebecca R. Schaefer. Catherine Linnea Shambaugh. Claire Tepish. Eleanor Ann Wolfe. Gillette House. Sei Moore Bernstein. Dawn London Coleman. Nicole De La Torre. Sylvie Murakami Freed. Maria Germash. Maya Hayden. Ruby Henter Cone. Karen Wanjuru Komu. Umema Kulua. Natalie Jean Labossiere. Allison Marie Lochner. Zoe Sophia Margolis. Molly Megan. Leah Talent. Elizabeth Van Winkle. Virtue Winter. Hampshire House. Rose Mary Bernhard. Miles Bond. Hannah Ruth Bredvik. Sherry Kai. Caitlin Marie Coyne. Hazel Thompson Edwards. Julia Ann Faulkner. Jennifer Feliciano. Amber Camila Garcia. Perla Alejandra Garcia. Eliana Gelverbeer. Ellie Getz. Sophie Helen Hoffer. Jane McCarthy Holcomb. Lydia Zoe Ivanovich. Sophia Jean Johnson. Emily Beth Joyce. Kayla Kernan. Amalia Eliora Schachter Leader. Asia Littell. Mia Caroline Lloyd. Abigail Elizabeth Lown. Eleanor McQueen. Jessica Emma Marsh. Ella Thais Martin Gusho. Kira McInville McCleary. Yesenia Olvera. Abigail Dupuy Peckman. Stella Rose Plank. Olivia Ruth Pugsley. Noah Rebecca Randall. Sydney Reyes Beatty. Carolyn Elizabeth Shattuck. Callie Elizabeth Sy. Isabella Howell Tagliati. Francesca Tapanay. Tatiana Ventura. Elsa Weintraub. Georgia Parker Welch. Bailey Nelson Whitney. Lark Wasinis. Shiro Jen. Haven Wesley Houses. Kendra Bondi. Jackson Carboni. Michelle Chen. Stephanie Dinsai. Alexandra Josephine Golikov. Davina Hope Gonzalez. Emily Halstead. Serena Hansraj. Molly Henry. Faith Kim. Lucy Neisler. Jessamine Jane Leaks. Catherine Mercado. Levy Sage Singleton. Emily Ann Zoe Smith. Bailey Ryer Southgate. Priya Carlene Swiden. Hopkins House. Leslie Sari Abraham. Sarah Jasmine Chin. Isabel Cordova. Megana Kikeri. Zoe Elise Merrill. Nicola Metzger. Athena Sophides. Serena Vega. Hubbard House. Molly Rose Day. Lacey Carol Harvey. Jennifer Kahn. Rebecca Kahn. Macarena Rojas. Natalie Page Schindler. Michelle Wong.
Jordan House. Arya Aziz Mahaban Bahai. Anna Brewer. Lillian Buckengroff. Carolyn E. Choi. Elizabeth Errol Drinkwater. Madeline Richardson Foster. Elizabeth Freeman. Eileen Margaret Gagnon. Candace Erin Jones. Alige Karamont. Nicole Natalia Lawler. Stephanie Long. Maura Lee McAndrew. Anne Elizabeth McBeath. Casey McClintock Sink. Emma Rose Miller. Miranda January Riccardi. Josephine Surere. Olivia Tom. Rezwana Akhtar Udine. Franklin King House. Madison Agresti. Sarah Inez Beltran. Sarah Dean. Xin Ying Fang. Janan Luisa Fugel. Erin Francesca Magdalena Hanley. Olena Komarova. Mackenzie Korf. Abigail Q. Kathleen Lima. Han Xiao Lu. Bryn Ping Sibley. Sienna Leanne Willis. Lamont House. Raisa Alam. Lynn Wiley Albright. Abigail Lily Allen. Maura Kathleen Anderson. Stevie Billow. Isabel Brisson. Elizabeth Chafe. Emily Rose Connolly. Sarah Clinton Daum. Madeline Galley. Adela Miette Goldsmith. Maria Hernandez. Ellison Deanna Hirsch. Heather Alexa Honig. Dulce Betsabe Ixoy Sai. Megan Johnson. Dylan Shea McBride. Allison Shea Meneghetti. Ruth Marie Niles. Susie Park. Farah Samawi. Mary Logan Taylor. E. Wong. Lawrence House. Margaret Miles Allard. Jennifer Baran. Abigail Marie Beckham. Meng Cao. Juliette Wang Chen. Sasha Nicole Clapp. Melissa C. Ertman. Miriam Hodis. Susanna Joy Howard. Miranda Quinn Jacobs. Ha Fung Lei. Naomi Murata. Natalie Nicole Sandstrom. Dana Smith. Julia B. Smith. Emma Louise Stewart. Julia Dani Shu. Morris House. Tiffany Chow. Jocelyn Jingjing Hu. Sarah Marie Kolick. Julia Claire Lee.
Brianna Lee McCall, Shannon Christie Nichols, Amber Kocho Osterman, Grace Park, Zoe Rio, Shreya Sengupta, Becky Chung Hung Shan, Tao Yawen, Emily Zhao Chenzhou, Ji Chen Zhu, Rainy U Qing Zhu, Mora House, Brianna Anita Barrett, Amelia Biasi, Ryan Patricia Carpenter, Kira Faith Gilbreth, Courtney Cora Grace Grant, Shakira Holloway, Anushka Jan, Paula Ariel Martinez, Artemis Metaxa Kakavuli, Brittany Alexis Rodriguez, Simran Sawhney, Mary Ellen Stolman Vanderveen, Kirthana Subash, Mandira Venkat, Northrop House, Haley Marie Anderson, Kennedy Ellen Barber Fraser, Emerson Berry, Claire Alice Baumgardner, Tracy Michelle Benali, Margaret Lorraine Brott, Alexis Cohen, Gabrielle Jean Farah, Sarah Avens Foster, Da Hua, Z.E. Lee, Melanie Nguyen, Natalie Norborg, Eva Marie Olson, Antigone Papapostolou, Adriana Temple Poro, Nina Sanjakila, Katrina Lynn Schroeder, Julia Cecile Silver, Tatiana Blair Terringer, Alina Wang, Ian Connie Chung, Park House, Adelaide Helen Bacon, Rosalie Jane Beefis, Leah McMahon Corson, Marissa Haven Dean, Jessica C. Floor, Nina Henry, Janaea Ivy, Cecile Lee, Mariah Verity Lemcool, Mandara Marambi, Lauren Calder Mitchell, Emily Ann Morris, Dina Soraya Nahid, Margaret Elizabeth Nolting, Ellen Lavinia Louise Perkins, Haley Gail Peterson, Claire Renee Roycroft, Sarah Thrum, Abigail Claire Weaver, Lyric Williams, Parsons House, Jenna Lee Gilly, Renee Clan, Jordan Lacey, Aaron A. Sula, Riley Elizabeth Swanson, Rebecca Claire Tibbetts, Anita Toe, Evan Clark Wilkerson, Laura Scaleshouse, Emma Jalais Beaucourt, Isabel Lindsay Brinton Fenlison, Sarah Wingying Chu, Hannah Renee Diazio, Neurali Gupta, Sydney Robin Hu, Salina Saida Hussein, Zoe Rose Kakulis, Abigail Dorothea Krominga, Alexandra Adriana Larossi, Catherine Sylvia McLennan, Grace Mills, Jenna Anna Rose Pepe, Alicia Shrestha, Nikia Catherine Snoddy, Sessions House, Anna Casasco, Georgiana Allen Duke, Megan Keenan Half, Wafa Noor Jawad, Corinne Nicole Moriarty, Emma Ning.
Talbot House, Emma Jane Rigger Borax, Willow Crawford Crudell, Emma Crumley, Sonia Garfinkel, Sarah Rose Gruber, Jenna Scout Haynes, Lucy Chen Hall, Isabella Cannon Hildebrand, Vivian Halsey, Julia Ng, Eka Jabari, Aisha Kava, Eve Loftus, Jennifer Moran, Inzia Nakvi, Cayenne O, Jasmine Oliveras, Emily Ann Olmos Govea, Daniela Paradise, Eden Phillips, Emma Valeria Powers, Marla Ruma, Julia Sabag, Hilary Janina Takori, Raymond Clark Van Heusen, Anina Van Riper, Jocelyn Sophia Vergara Cobos, Emily Amaral Whittier, Tenny House, Kalia Margaret Abner, Elliot Lopez Farquhar, Olivia Ledbetter, Leah Francesca Minoni, Maya Eden Russell, Tyler House, Sydney Noah Babro, April Amy Cheever, Jada Dickerson, Hazel Grace Calderon, Yu Wei Kwong, Eloise R. Lindblom, Autumn Marie Minio, Zhang Mu, Marguerite Aurora Pacheco, Gabrielle Usloon Schallers, Deirdre Sullivan, Han Yao Tian, Faith Washington Flowers, Shet T. Chan, Wilder House, Praisha Chowdhury, Susan Casa, Devin Nicole Dulnick, Hannah McNeil Gockel, Elise Goodman, Kennedy Drew Guest Pritchett, Samira Junjunwala, Ashley King, Cassie Lynn Kemmler, Amina Khan, Angelica Luna, Xiao Xiao Meng, Michaela Mentu, Ariana Elizabeth Meredith, Sarah Migler, Rissa Nanas, Ellie Richardson, Serena Leanne Sackheim Devine, Reagan Sinclair Thomas, Manavi Tibriwal, Dorcas Leehan Ujiji, Diana Jasmine Umani, Julia Rose Vance, Martha Wilson House, Juliana Grace Albert, Lauren Bondi, Caitlin Joan Doherty, Claylee Ada Fielding, Lillian Laura Ganchev, Carly Teresa Hakala, Sarah Emma Louise Hans, Evelyn Rose Henkin, Emily Hitchcock, Agnes Hu, Sydney M. Coe, Emma Dixon Krause, Pamela Nancy Larkin, Jessica Elizabeth McKnight, Charlotte Marie Palmer, Elspeth Grace Pendleton Wheeler, Natalia Margot Perkins, Tomika Bifo Sales, Emma Joy Tung Seymour, Desislava Borislavova Stoyanova, Margaret Elizabeth Slozek, Ziskin House, Bisma Ali, Tasbiha Chowdhury, Chloe Erickson, Hillary Gillis, Kayla Harrington, Una Park McNally, Josla Kaiying Ong, Jasmine Pacheco Ramos, Amy Wrong, Sasha K. Schrouder, Arabia Kwameka Simeon, Jesse Wang, and Bethlehem Asnaka Yigsaw.
Let's hear it for the class of 2019. Graduates, the time has come for you to join a most distinguished community, the alumni of Smith College. This community will be yours for life. You will stand with graduates like you who will change the world, who will challenge the world, and you will carry Smith with them in all that they do. Know that while you leave Smith today, you do not leave it behind. As much as Smith has changed each of you, you have changed Smith, just as your class president said. You have been a part of its evolution and left your mark on it in countless ways, and you will return here, we hope, often. You are ready for what's next. I have no doubt of that, and I am backed in that belief by the faculty. There's something I want you to know about this faculty. Each and every one of them loves you, loves you. I ask you now to salute the faculty for the countless ways they have encouraged, inspired, and challenged you to do your best. Graduates, your relatives and friends are here. To the mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, grandmothers and grandfathers, aunts and uncles, spouses, daughters and sons, cousins, guardians, significant others, friends of all sorts, there they are. Please give them your thanks for all they have done to support you on your journey. Yesterday, an alumnus said to me, "Smith is more than a college." And I said, "That's right, it's a movement. And today it carries you forward. May you make that movement your own." Congratulations once again.
Seniors, I mean recent graduates. After all you have seen and heard this morning and that has happened to you, you may be feeling stunned, in shock, or ready to change your shoes. But our world is crying out for moments such as this one, which mark our passing from one phase of life to the next, wherein we celebrate not just success, but emergence, not just excellence, but growth. So much fear and injustice and even violence are born from the feeling of being alone and unseen in a world that seems to pass some by without recognition of the steps taken or the miles traveled. Years from now, you will not remember who got what awards or which house got more cheers, or the weather on this somewhat dismal, clammy day. You may still not know what summa cum laude or honors causa means unless you studied Latin. You will remember, in the words of Ai-jen Poo, that you are the first responders, ready in every way now to change every aspect of life in the U.S. and beyond. Now here in 2019, it is time. Power doesn't need to be extractive or exploitive, but instead rooted in the whole truth of who you are, and may you be linked and not ranked. Smith is yours now, and you will always be ours. So take a breath. Let this chapter begin to make its way into your hearts, and in years to come, you will praise it for all it has taught you. When the glow of achievement is still bright but softer, when the pain of mistakes or loneliness is real but has been tempered by the months and years, praise that now you don't know really a fraction of what you have learned yet. And I think I see some sun. In the words of a professor, Mother Nature is a smithy. Hear now some pieces adapted from Elizabeth Alexander's praise song for the day as a blessing for the world, which you will go forth into and touch and change. Each day we go about our business, walking past each other. We cross dirt roads and highways that mark the will of someone and then others who said, "I need to see what's on the other side." we walk into that which we cannot see. What if the mightiest word is love? Love that casts a widening pool of light, love with no need to preempt grievance. In today's sharp sparkle, this air, anything can be made, any sentence begun, on the brink, on the brim, on the cusp. Praise song for walking forward into that light.
The 141st commencement exercise of Smith College is now concluded. We congratulate the graduates. May you go forth and thrive.